On this episode of Path to Performance, presented by Castrol EDGE.
We are very close to getting the car on the ground. Every part of the car needs to perform at the highest level, otherwise driving the car will not be enjoyable.
I think we are officially, that's no secret, that we are behind schedule on this project.
They were cutting that quarter panel up last week, and I walked over to the car and I looked at it and I'm like, ugh, I don't like it.
This year, we're taking you inside the garages of 4 of the best builders as they bring their cars to life. One of them could take home the Barrett-Jackson Cup. This is the Path to Performance, presented by Castrol EDGE.
We have finished the dash. Got a lot of the interior base panels are done. We got all the glass on the sides of the car. We changed all the way the glass functions and the trim and the seals. We are very close to getting the car on the ground and getting it drivable. So today, we're working on a wide variety of things on the car. We'll have a couple guys installing the engine and transmission. It's basically ready to run, getting all the electrical hooked up to the engine, getting all the plumbing hooked up on the engine. We're working on the interior as well. We've got the framework done for the seats. We're also cutting foam for the seats. The engine that we chose, GM LT1, it's built a little bit. We put a camshaft in it and some other performance goodies. Part of the reason we chose the LT1 engine versus an LS platform engine is just because it's modern. The LT engine came out in 2014. I think they ran it from 2014 to current. We're just trying to keep this thing up with technology and be as modern as we can. When running a high-performance engine like this, you're going to create a lot of horsepower and a lot of pressure in the engine, a lot of heat. And so it's important to use a full synthetic oil like Castrol EDGE to keep the engine running in its optimal conditions, keep the oil from breaking down.
Now back out to Michigan to check in with Paul at DutchBoys.
We've been really working on finalizing the structure of the car. The roll cage is complete, the floors are complete, the tunnel's complete. The biggest hurdle of this whole project right now is the quarter panel flare. To get a big enough tire on the back that will handle 1,200 horsepower, we weren't gonna be able to not do any body mods. We had to open up the side of the car. We put the tire on it that we wanted to, and we built the quarter panels to fit that tire.
They were cutting that quarter panel up last week, and I walked over to the car and I looked at it and I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. They've been tweaking it the last week, and then I think it looks pretty cool now. I'm pretty happy with it. It definitely changed the look of the back of the car. Some people are gonna like it, some people aren't gonna like it.
Now that we figured out how we wanted to do this side, Josh is now transferring all his notes, his bucks, and measurements to this side, and we'll begin cutting this side to match. This is our center cut line, exactly the center of the wheel opening. It allows us to reshape this, and reshape out to our center point, and then remake this whole body line. And then Josh has a gauge. This shows you how much we brought the quarter panel out to accommodate the wider tires. We could have fit a smaller tire on there, no problem, but we knew that we had to have a tire that performed with the rest of the car. That way it can function on the track how it should.
We're just patiently waiting for the fab guys to get done with it. So, I mean, meantime, we'll stay busy on everything else, but we kind of needle them a little bit to keep them on task, and hopefully they'll get it pushed along so we can get it back here.
So probably about 4 years ago, we started manufacturing exterior mirrors just because of the fact that we couldn't find anything that visually looked good. So we took it upon ourselves to engineer something, design something that looked appealing as well as worked and performed. This car is actually going to get our latest version, which we call our classic round. As you can see, you know, simple, bolt-on, looks period correct, but all the functionality inside of the mirror is all modern technology, so you don't have to worry anymore about your mirror tipping over because of the wind, because all of the pivot mechanism is placed inside the housing, so it'll perform the way you're wanting your mirrors to when you're driving down the road. We're in the process right now of machining them out of aluminum. I think Justin's actually got one of the arms right now on the machine, machining it, so we can check in with him and see how that's coming. So we also run Castrol lubricant in our CNC machine. So it's a water-based lubricant that we use for cutting fluid, keeps our machine running strong. How's it going?
It's going good. I've got it set up for the soft jaws that are already cut, and I've got one running in the machine if you want to see it.
Yeah, let's check it out. So this will be the the finished arm machine from aluminum, fresh out of the machine. Every part of the car needs to perform at the highest level, otherwise driving the car will not be enjoyable, and at the end of the day, it's a car and it needs to be driven. So performance is huge.
Now over to DutchBoys to check in on their progress.
So the theme of the car, like our normal styles, they'll look pretty stock, but modified. So the bumper's all stock right now. We'll end up shaving the bolts, sucking it into the body, filling this gap that's just factory from the, Chevrolet. And then we will take this bumper and cut it. You'll keep this lined up with the taillight, but we'll manipulate the bumper where it's tucked into the body, so it's not, you can't stick your hand in here. And then we'll actually build off the bottom as well. And then our exhaust will actually come out in this area. When we did that, we raised the gas tank into the car for just the bottom, so it's not hanging low behind the car. So then fabricated the trunk floor to accommodate the gas tank up and inside the vehicle. We also made a removable cover. That way, if you ever have a fuel pump fail, you're on the side of the road, you're at the track, you don't have to drop the whole gas tank to service it. You can pop these bolts out, remove this cover, take the whole fuel sending unit out, replace the new fuel pump, put it back in without having to drop the tank. So now that we're done with the 1 5/8 chromoly roll cage that Josh fabricated, we like to fit it tight to the headliner for head clearance. We actually roll the center tube, so we make our radius, and then we'll roll it to fit the crown of the roof. We also do a removable harness bar. The owner of this car has younger kids. So these will be quick pins, not bolts. So you'll just quick pin, you'll knock this bar out. You can get in the back seat easy. Instead of this being a permanent fixture to the roll cage, 2 pins, pop it out. We'll usually put tabs in the trunk. You can put it in the trunk, throw the pins in it, and people can get in the back seat.
As far as things are progressing on the car, I think things are coming along really well. I still like to see it further along, so it'd be in a body shop right now. But I think they've added a few more fab things now they're doing to the quarter panels, so that's gonna take a little more time. So we're gonna just patiently wait for it.
I think we are officially, that's no secret, that we are behind schedule on this project. And now we are throwing all the resources at it that we have. It's all got to be done. We have to do a little bit of work in the front fenders to make sure it looks correct.
Everything's going according to plan. I feel like we're on schedule for the most part. We're behind in some areas, but ahead in others. The reason why we're behind in some of the areas is because we're sweating the details. So we're not gonna cut any corners. We're gonna make sure everything's right.
As far as us making a top 5 for the Barrett-Jackson Cup, I think that's gonna be a tough task. I think we'll bring a pretty cool piece, but there's gonna be some beautiful cars out there. So I know we got our work cut out for us.